What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. Alright, this story's called, "This is a little bit of a twist. New manager judges someone on how they look and the unexpected ending." This actually happened to a friend of my stepfather's. The woman in the story is a wonderful, down-to-earth woman who just so happens to be extremely wealthy and owns a lot of local businesses and has a heavy involvement in them. However, doesn't dress like she has money. Pam was out and about one day, shopping, and had been killing time before an important business meeting and decided to head inside early. Pam had walked in to speak to old manager about the yearly takings and new hires. New manager, Incorporated? I don't know. She was dressed down as usual, however her hair, occasional makeup were always impeccable. Plus the huge diamond stud in her ears should have been a huge giveaway. New manager was a new hire and had in the interviews and seemed on paper a perfect fit, apart from thinking a little too highly of herself and slightly snooty attitude. However, this was common for this area and the younger generation, so old manager decided to give her a go and hired her. So Pam walks in early for the meeting and begins browsing like she always does, taking in the aesthetics of the shop, the atmosphere, etc., just waiting for old manager. New manager sees this and gives Pam a dirty side-eye glance. Pam is checking prices, moving items back to where they should be, etc., and obviously new manager finds this strange. New manager runs over, looking annoyed, shouting at Pam to stop touching the products, that they are obviously well out of her price range and they do not allow people in to just browse. She rips the product out of Pam's hands, insisting that she should not be in the store. She is definitely not the type of client they cater for and she must leave. "You're putting off real customers," she said. Pam just stares at new manager, wide-eyed and open-mouthed, while the new manager is attempting to hustle Pam towards the outside door. Pam, without saying a word, shoves off new manager and storms past her, through the back and into the back office. New manager runs after her, screaming that she definitely can't be back there and that if she doesn't leave, she will call the police and she, Pam, will be arrested. At this point, other staff members, some who know Pam, have tried explaining to new manager but can't over her screaming, and customers are standing just watching all this unfold. When new manager makes it into the office and she finds Pam on the office phone and just starting a conversation, new manager screams again that she, Pam, cannot be back there, all the while grabbing for the office phone. A few moments later, old manager rushes into the back office, mobile phone in hand and a shocked expression on her face. New manager doesn't see this and again screams at Pam that she can't be back here and that she, new manager, was going to call the police and have her, Pam, arrested. Pam has had enough and shouts, "What? You'll have me arrested from a store that I own?" Pam attempts to shout over new manager screaming. She had noticed old manager run in, went as follows. "Old manager, can you please calm this girl down? Explain to her who I am, why I am here, and please tell me what in the world you were thinking when you took her on." When this new manager suddenly pipes down and looks around, she heard what Pam had said, but it obviously took a few minutes to process. Old manager is standing, open-mouthed like a goldfish gasping for air, while Pam, as cool as a cucumber, turns to make herself a coffee. Old manager suddenly remembers how to breathe and speak and chokes out, "New manager, this is Pam, our owner and landlord. This whole row of shops belongs to her, and she has come in today to go over the yearly takings and to help review the new hires we've taken on." Pam has a very active role in her business. Although she is not always seen by all her staff, she is heavily involved in everything that is done and every decision made. made. This makes her a great owner and businesswoman, as she knows everything that goes on with her companies, and she's always fair. Now, it was new manager's turn to be wide-eyed and open-mouthed. Pam sat down in the office chair, coffee in hand, and smiled at old manager. "Come sit," she said to the old manager and patted a chair next to her. "I think we'll start with new manager's review first. Don't you think, old manager?" Now, Pam was never a lady to raise her voice. To be honest, she didn't need to. When she spoke, there was a certain air of authority about her, usually twinged with kindness and smiles. Not today, however. Pam simply explained that the one thing she hated most in this world was being treated differently. To her, it didn't matter if you had but a penny or £1,000,000. She would still treat you the same. That was the motto of her business, and this girl had gone against everything she believed in. Everything her and her husband had worked so hard for all these years. This was truly unacceptable and would not be tolerated. Who knows how many potential customers she had chased away just because of how they look. So it's safe to say, new manager had lost her job, and after everyone in the community had heard about who she was, what she had done, and how she treated Pam, no one wanted to employ her as a manager or anything else. Yes, Pam and her husband were extremely wealthy, but it was all hard work and effort that got them there, and they would never have done it without the people who had been there for them when they started out with nothing. They never forget who they were or where they came from, and always treated everyone they met with kindness and compassion. Damn, that's like that one movie, Pretty Woman, but like on steroids? Badass. This story's called "Just Because I'm Putting Something on a Shelf Does Not Mean I Work Here." I was just doing some shopping after I dropped my boyfriend off at work. Had to pick up the usual groceries and such. Nothing big. I decided to look at some cups and plates since my boyfriend and I just moved into a new apartment probably about a month ago, and we don't have a tons of kitchen stuff. I put in my cart some plates, cups, bowls that were all gray because I didn't like the other colors. But then I noticed that after I had walked a little bit down the aisle, there were kitchen things that were in the color I liked more, in a muted blue color. So I decided to go back, take the stuff I had put in my cart, and put it back where I got it so I could go and grab the other things that I saw that I liked better. While I was putting the stuff back on the shelf, someone stands uncomfortably close to me. So I try to hurry up, thinking that they want to look at something I'm blocking, and I don't really like being rude to people because I know I hate when people do that to me. I hurry and put the stuff on the shelf. I go to walk away to the other stuff that I was going to get in place of what I had just put back on the pudding what I had just put back on the shelf, and then I hear the woman start walking towards me. I don't really think much of it because maybe she decided not to get the thing that she was looking at where I had been over there, and maybe she saw something else and was going toward that. She kept walking uncomfortably close to me, then eventually loudly said, mind you, she pulled her mask down to talk to me, and in my area we are supposed to wear masks literally everywhere. "So you're just gonna walk away? I was waiting to talk to you." I just kind of stopped and glanced at her. Huh? She made sure to pull her mask all the way down to her chin. "Do they pay you to be this stupid? Do they pay you to stand there and look like an idiot? Maybe that's why the store's so horrible. Maybe that's why it's so dirty. Maybe that's why nothing is ever right about the store, because they hire slack-jawed idiots like you that just mumble noises at their customers instead of actually helping them." What the actual flippity-doodah are you on about, lady? I just start walking away. I don't know what her problem is. Maybe she's having a bad day. Maybe she has a mental illness. I don't know. But it's not my problem. I hear her take a few loud, quick steps toward me like she's gonna grab me or something. I'm over here thinking, this woman just either had some drugs hit her real hard, or she is bipolar or something. Mind you, there have been people that have overdosed in the bathrooms at this store before, so her hurting on drugs would not be unreasonable. I move out of the way, not really caring about the cups I wanted anymore, store, and I go into another aisle because, like, I am not having this today. If this is gonna be what it takes to get those cups, I don't want them. Like, I legitimately don't. Unfortunately, she follows me into the other aisle. What do you think you're doing? Why aren't you helping me? Because I don't know how to help someone who's on whatever kind of drugs you're on, lady. What? Drugs? You gonna talk to a customer like that after running off? You stupid little hoe! I don't care if you're a customer or the Pope's grandmother. Leave me the hell alone, you psycho! I'm about to call the cops. Go ahead, call them, and I'll tell them that you're not helping me. Whatever! Leave me alone! I start walking away again, cause yeah, I'm not dealing with whatever her problem is because it's not my problem. Screw you, ho! I'm going to get a manager! You do that! I yell as I'm walking away. I decided to leave the area and go pick up some other stuff that I wanted, and then I was just going to come back to those cups later because I really wanted them, but I figured after a good little bit she'd be gone. So here I am putting the cups and the bowls and stuff into my cart. This lady walks over with the manager. There she is. There's a stupid little hoe that wouldn't help me. She doesn't work here. Oh my god! You all need to stop playing! You all need to stop lying! She was putting stuff on the shelf. She works here. Like, oh my god! No, she doesn't. She hasn't worked here in over 2 years. I grin at the manager. Because little did this lady know, I knew this manager, and this manager remembers whenever I used to work in the store like 2 years ago, and that I hadn't worked there in 2 years. Oh my god! I'ma call your corporate! I'ma get all y'all fired! No one can tell me where the hell this frickin' Doritos are. I tell her the exact aisle on the opposite side of the store that the Doritos are in. Oh my god, finally! She storms off to go get her Doritos, I guess. You know, that was the first time she actually mentioned that she wanted Doritos. Why am I not surprised? I'm going to lunch. I do not have the energy to deal with anything else right now. I hope you found your Doritos, crazy lady that was screaming at me and chasing me in the store. She didn't even ask me where the Doritos were. If she would have asked me where the Doritos were, I would have legitimately told her. I have no clue why she was in the house goods section on the other side of the store looking for Doritos. Maybe she had a crush on you and didn't know how to approach you, so she did it the stupid way. And if you're wondering how or why I would even think that is a possibility, not everyone is as socially awesome as some people. I'm just kidding. I'm pretty great in social situations. This one time I walked up to this girl, I was like, hi. She didn't know it hit her. Alright, this story's called The Place Electronic Boutique. Years ago, I used to work for an electronics store in a mall. News for that day that an actor, Robin Williams, rest in peace, was filming a movie in my hometown. I went into work as normal in a dress shirt and tie. That was our uniforms. They made us look fancy. It was a slow day. It was just my assistant manager and myself. I went to the back for a quick snack, and as I walked back out, I saw a man walking out of the store saying, thanks. I can't do Robin Williams' voice. I'm sorry, guys. You're disappointed. I'm disappointed. But even if I could, I wouldn't even want to, because if you want to hear his voice, go watch his many, many amazing movies. All right? Sorry. The voice was odd. It hit a nerve as if I've heard it before. I walk up to my assistant manager who just finished talking to the guy. Hey, that was Robin Williams! Thinking he's playing a trick on me and replying in a sarcastic tone. I'm sure it was. No, really it was! Uh-huh. And what did he ask you? Still very skeptical. If there was a video game store in the mall. Knowing that Robin Williams is a huge video game geek, this sparked my interest. I highly doubted that my assistant store manager knew Robin liked video games. I asked with more excitement, can I go follow him? Knowing damn well that we haven't had a customer for an hour, he said, Go for it. I headed off to EB Games, Electric Boutique at the time. There, standing at the PC games, was a short, stocky, clean-shaven, blue blocker-wearing man. I walked in. No one had paid this guy any attention, not even the employee that was standing at the counter. This guy stood about 5'5". I'm 6 foot. I approach. I feel something isn't right. This man seems very clean-cut. If he is Robin Williams, I would expect him to be hairy. He was shaking, not sure from what. Nerves, maybe? If this was who I thought, why is he not out with an escort? I look at him. I'm sure he can tell something is up. Asking nervously and quietly, "Are you Robin Williams?" He looks at me, shakes my hand, and says, "Hi, yes I am. Nice to meet you." I'm shocked. I feel bad. I feel if I don't get out of there fast, I'm gonna draw attention. Looking at the wall, he says, "So do you have Battlefield 1942? I don't even work here, man. Sorry. I just saw you come in and wanted to make sure it was you. You know, I'm just gonna head out of here before someone notices and I draw a crowd." "Yeah, that would be good. Thanks." And with that, I was off. One of the most rewarding I don't work here lady experiences I've ever had. Ah, that's nice. Not much of a story, but I love it. Nice little interaction going on there. Very much appreciated, OP. Thank you for sharing. Rest in peace, man. It's been 7 years now, I believe. Alright, this story's called, No. I went to Big Lots after my shift at a fast food restaurant. The ladies that were working there that night were black and white. Relevant. So as I'm shopping, this older guy stops me and asks me where something was. I said the golden words. "I don't work here." He tried to say that I looked like the lady in the front. I'm mixed. The only way I would look like either of the ladies is if I were the child they had together. Plus, I'm short. Both ladies were taller than me. So I just stared at him and slowly shook my head no. Wasn't a bad interaction, just makes me chuckle every time I think about it. That's kind of funny. It's so weird, man. You know, to a lot of people, you're either black or you're not black. Like, it's just that. I can't wait for, like, another couple generations or so and, like basically, everything is kind of homogenized in terms of race, and so, like, race isn't much of a thing anymore. It'll be pretty cool. Much less identity politics to deal with, which I say is good.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.